Because I know all right, but no, really, I'm so glad that this weather finally broke
Yeah,
because
yeah,
oh my God, I thought I was gonna die.
yeah. He is not my friend
I thought I was
whatsoever.
gonna die.
No,
This one,
absolutely.
this was a bad one this year. This was a bad one.
Yeah,
Um, and then it's like it's not like I don't like shopping for summer clothes because I don't like it so much, you know. But I do have summer clothes, but it's
yeah.
just like like I said in one of my previous videos, you know, I am the type of guy that can perspire. Okay, I'm
Hmm.
not like super bad with it, but you know, I can mess up a shirt collar. So
Yeah.
during the summers, it's like it's like it can get bad, and then you go into the cleaners more just to try to keep that collar clean and all that. Don't even get me started, please
It's
don't.
not worth it. Being a female in the summer is like playing Frogger. It's just you got to keep an outfit in the car. You got to keep it with you because you just never
What?
know. I'm
Oh my
serious. Like you
goodness.
got your silks and your satins, and you got all your things, and then you got the makeup, and you got the hair, and it's like, Lord, please be with me and don't let me sweat.
Oh,
It's really bad. So you keep a t-shirt and some shorts and move on. That's all you do in the summer. So I
that's
understand what
hey,
you're saying.
look, I don't even like wearing tennis shoes in the summer too much because
Yeah,
like some certain tennis shoes don't breathe as well as other
this is
shoes,
true.
you know. So I don't even like wearing certain ones like certain 95s. I won't even
Mhm.
wear them
No,
because I feel like they too tight on my shoe. I mean my foot and
yeah, and you got to wear
can't do it.
socks, so can't do it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing. I don't think I can't get away with going barefoot in sneakers. Is like if I'm wearing a pair of nice loafers, I guess,
Yeah.
but sneakers, I'm not.
Mm-mm.
That's a dangerous game. That's a dangerous game to play with.
Yeah, that you don't want to do
you
that. You don't
you
want
be
to do
having
that.
your whole little front room smelling crazy or
You don't
something.
want to do that. Absolutely not.
Come
Mm-mm.
on,
No.
man. But no, I'm glad I got you on the call, man.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Long overdue. I'm actually interviewing a couple other people this week.
Okay.
Um, and I've been having a great time with it.
Hmm.
So, and I know we're gonna have a good time because I know we've had a couple conversations in the
Yeah.
past, and I feel like we're just gonna build off that. So, I don't know where to start, but I will like to start where I feel like me and you resonate in our conversations. So I'm gonna just go ahead and dive right on into it.
Okay.
And I want to go into the addiction
Yeah.
of collecting because I
Okay.
feel like before anybody else gets on here, I gotta be honest. Me and you have dove deep into this conversation,
Yeah.
and yeah, I've had conversations with people like this in the past, but not on the level that me and you really talked about it. So, and before I go any further, I do want you to introduce yourself. I do know you like to introduce yourself by your actual name and not your
Yes.
Instagram handle, people. So
Yeah, because
please
we're
listen to
all
her
people.
name. But go ahead and
Yeah.
let her get the mic.
Yeah, my name is Jamella, but I go by Pink Polo. I've been going by Pink and Pinklo and Pinky and all the things since I don't know what 2017, I think. But my government name is Jamella.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All
Hmm.
right. And
Yes.
they can find you on Instagram. Are you on Facebook as well, or that's
I'm
your
not on
only social?
Facebook. I came up
Okay.
off of there as I'm just on Instagram, maybe TikTok, but I'm mostly
Yeah.
on Instagram. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I just want if people want to find you wherever you at. I used to be on Facebook a lot, but I'm really not on there. I don't even have the app on my phone. I I, I have my account because I like to wish my aunt and my mother happy birthday
yeah,
because they're not on Instagram.
right.
So, but that's about it,
Yeah, I
But
understand.
yeah. So that's where you guys can reach her if you want to reach out. I will say I don't know if she likes it, but she helps me or she's helped people I know with finding stuff.
Yeah, I'm a
So
locator. I'm a low locator.
but I will go heavy on the respect. Just please be respectful. Let's understand that this is someone's daughter, this is someone's sister. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman. So let's just be respectful when we jump into her direct messages, okay? So let's just keep that in the front of
Appreciate
our
that.
minds
Very
before we
much so.
do
Thank
anything.
you.
All right. But so like I said, the nitty gritty. So she's a heavy sneakerhead, sneaker
Oh
collector.
yeah. Oh yeah.
She dabbles into the polo.
Yeah.
She dabbles into women's fashion heavy,
I
like
love it all.
crazy. So
Love it all.
um and one of our main things that we talk about is because I like to say what keeps you going, and what me and her like to talk about, or what we spoke about was, I guess, the step past that. Because at a certain point, it's no longer a drive, it's no longer a
Mm.
passion, it's definitely an addiction,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
But I want you to go ahead and swing the bat because let's just go ahead and get into it.
So I started collecting polo back in 94.
Okay.
1994. I was 14, got my first job. And just like a lot of people, families were just getting by, it was the groceries, the gas, the necessities. Whenever you like, hey, mom, hey, dad, can I get like this $100 pair of the jeans? They look at you sideways like, is you crazy? Like, we're not, no, we're not doing all
What?
that. Right, but even though I never wanted for anything, that need to have it right then and there surpassed asking. So I said, okay, the only way for me to get it legit is to get out there and work. So 14, I got my working papers. Anybody from New York know about them working papers? You in high school, you get your working papers. So I got that, got my first job, and it was up from there. I went to Burlington Coat Factory. I think I dropped like $500 and put everything on layaway. That's when Burlington Coat Factory had layaway.
It's a lot of money
So
back then.
there was a lot of money back then. So, you working through the summer and you put everything on layaway, you get it out a week before school start. And I was hooked from there. I was like, okay, so I can make my own money, dress myself, not ask nobody for nothing, and I can get fly. Okay, cool. This is exactly what I'm gonna do. And that freedom to do whatever it was that I wanted to do was like was like feeding a monster, you know? Because it was like, I don't gotta ask nobody for nothing. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, I grew up around a bunch of guys. Like, I grew up in a building. it
Hmm.
was like it was like 10, 15 kids in this one building, but 90% of them were dudes. Yeah, and the rest of us was girls. It was like 5, 6 girls, including myself, but they were more into the short skirts and the makeup and the hair. That really wasn't my ministry at the
Okay.
time. So
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
didn't get into all of that. I got into the sneakers and the clothes and the jeans and things because I have always wanted to hide my body. I've always wanted to cover up. I've never wanted to show too much because at age of 14 and up, I looked like I was 20 something
Okay.
then. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't never want that kind of attention. So thank God I grew up in the 90s because, all the girls wore the baggy clothes, that was the
Yeah.
style. So
Yeah. Yeah. It
I was
was.
safe. I
Yeah.
was safe. But growing up around a whole bunch of boys, it became a competition.
Mm.
Who can outdress who?
Mm.
I was their only competition, in our building, on our block, in our
Yeah.
high school. Between our block, it was me. It was me and this other dude. And then this other guy, bless his soul, rest in peace, Tony. He was the only other one that can outdo everybody on the block. But female wise, it was me,
Okay.
and I took that personal because they're not looking at me like a sex symbol. They're looking at me as, oh, that's Jamila, she gets down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like I had to keep feeding that and feeding that and feeding it. And that went through high school, it went through college, and it's current right now. As I'm 45 years old, it's still current, but it's changed between decades. It's gotten to the point where clothes became a remedy for being lonely, for being um, just in your own mind, to take all of the other thoughts out. Shopping became that addiction. Shopping became that best friend. No one bothers you when you're shopping. No one teases you when you're shopping. No one criticizes you when you're shopping because it's something you do by yourself.
Hmm.
You know, and I became so good at it. That's how Pink Polo was born,
Okay.
because I got good at shopping and I could show people how to shop and how to get it for the low. No, you don't have to pay 300. You can go over here and pay 75 for it. And that started a whole nother beast altogether. So to sum up what I just said, getting into designer, into clothing, into shopping became an addiction because I was hiding my true self. I was protecting my true self. That's how that happened.
Okay. No, and I had to let you go because you said a whole lot, you said a whole lot, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a chip away. I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
chip away right
Come
now.
on. Well, come on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
no, but one big thing that stood out to me right now that you were just talking about was the was when you were back in the 90s wearing the baggy clothes and stuff and not being over sexualized. That really
Mhm.
stood out to me because um let's be honest, especially right now, this day and age, you got the OnlyFans and all this stuff. Showing too much is just that is the way now. And as someone who also grew up in the 90s, I can honestly say that is one thing I truly miss about the 90s. Having
Mhm.
that modesty, having that sense to cover up and
Yeah.
be yourself and all that. Um, Now, on the flip side, like you said, you were feeding a unknown monster, or some would say a troll under the bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Basically. Mhm.
Um, and I can tell you right now, most of the people that will be watching this can definitely agree to that. Um, it never starts out, or especially in my case, it never starts out like, oh, later on down the line, I'm going to be spending this much on it. In some people's cases, making bad decisions. I've made bad decisions before, and knowing damn well I wasn't supposed to go get this piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
Yeah.
gas in my car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I
Yeah.
got this piece though. So it's like, but if you'd have told, if your older self would have told your younger self that, you wouldn't have believed that. Like you say, you know, you're starting out like most of us,
Mhm.
not having the urge or the want to have.
Mhm.
Um, and like my previous guest, just like you said, you grew up in a neighborhood where there were older gentlemen, older guys shining. No
Mhm.
matter their lifestyle or how they got it, we're not really going into that right now. It's that was their presentation,
Mhm.
and I would say a lot of us it left. I'm using that word trauma very lightly, but
Mhm.
it did leave some invisible trauma because you see this, you want it, and now you're like, okay, I gotta go set out and get this.
Yeah.
Now you never thought about the repercussions. Like you said, this was more than at a certain point it became more than fashion.
Mhm.
You start to realize it was an internal thing.
Yeah.
It was something that, oh, I'm covering up. I in some guys' case, you say they're over masculating. They're trying to, what I'm saying, hide their flaws and or whatever the case may be. Um, I've talked to several collectors and they'll be on this show and they could agree that yes, that is something that they can agree to because why do I need 50 coats, 100 coats? Why do I need 300 pairs of pants? I could be exaggerating, but I know some guys, those numbers aren't exaggerations at all.
No, it's
Not by
not.
far. Not
No,
by
it's
far.
not.
So that's where I feel like this is starting to bridge itself because you can't tell me that we're not overcompensating at a certain point. And I'm going to throw myself on the fire. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
know I'm overcompensating for the fact that I did not have it. You know what I'm saying? I grew up really below the line.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not going to go into, specific details of it. I made another one, but I'll just say, my parents really did not have it. I remember times where new clothes was hand-me-downs. You know what I'm saying? I remember times where new clothes were given to me by a family friend,
Mhm.
and I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I felt, so I made it my business to create I don't want to say persona, but to create this image through dressing, or
You
you know what I'm saying?
reinvented yourself.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. So um and my mom will always say, she can go back, at a certain point, I've always been the type who where, I always had that preppy side. I always had a preppy side. Um, Even when I was growing up in the quote unquote ghetto, the hood or whatever, I wasn't one of the guys that was chasing the newer shoes and all that. I was just, I didn't mind a nice pillow because see, I felt like I just accepted it. But then once I got onto the polo lane, I feel like that's when I guess internally it was like, I can go crazy now, you
Hmm.
know? I can finally not be that bummy little boy that was getting, talked about in school or on his way home from the neighborhood kids and things like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So once again, I didn't know I was going to slowly start to create an addiction to where every time I have a little bit of excess money or I feel like, okay, these bills are paid off, I'm a little straight.
Hmm.
Let's go get some, you know what I'm saying? Let's go get
I need a
some low.
reward.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like it did start. It's a slow monster. It's a slow fat monster because you start to feed it and feed it, and next thing you know, you got this big old thing in your room, and you're like, and it's hard to let it go. It's hard to address it, So, but no, and I'm not trying to, just take over the whole mic off that one. But like I said, that really stood out to me, and that's why I had to speak on that. Um, and I also want to talk about your shoe collection as well.
Hmm.
So I would say that correlated together when you were
Yeah.
with the shoes and the clothes. I feel like with you it had to go hand in hand,
It
right?
did.
Like
It did because sneakers are trophies. Okay. If you were able to put your hand on the latest pair of Jordans, it's like it was like winning winning Rome. You know when they used to have the gladiator fights in Rome and you slayed a lion or you slayed
yeah,
a whatever.
yeah.
You got your hand on a pair of Jordans or whatever sneaker was out at the time. You were that
My
person,
bad.
okay? And you were that person for however many weeks it was until the next shoe came out. And it's like I gotta have that feeling all the
Mm,
time. It's literally legit drugs.
mm.
Okay. If you pay for Coke, you're gonna pay for Nike. But Nike's legit. It's a drug.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. They don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't gamble, but they
No,
gonna buy them shoes.
but they gonna buy them sneakers. It's legit drug. That's all it is. Clothes. Because I want you to think about Instagram and Facebook and all the stuff. And when you post a picture, you get a little heart, right? A lot of people thrive for that little heart because they've never been liked or loved in their life.
Mm,
It's no coincidence that Instagram and Facebook and these social medias have carved their acceptance platform into heart shapes or thumbs up. Like, good job, you're showing off. Good job, you bought it. Good job, you got it. Nobody else got it, but you got it.
ooh,
That feeds into that too. You see what I'm
mm.
saying? So going back to the sneakers, you got this fat 14-year-old girl that has a big foot on top of that. How can I cure that? Let me go buy some sneakers. Let me go be that girl because I have to hide all of my insecurities.
Boom.
by me hiding all the insecurities, I'm blowing money and I'm not even thinking about how much it costs. From the age of 18 to maybe 30, I never looked at tags. I just bought it blindly. I didn't care how much it cost. I did not care because me personally, the way I think, money comes to me the more I spend it.
Mm.
That has always been my life. My family motto, if you work hard, you can put your hand on anything it is that you want, no matter what it costs. You can get it if you work hard. That has been seared into my brain. You work hard, you can have it. Okay, cool. That's why shopping now does not impress me because I've had my hand on so much, it doesn't do anything for me. Now, I want you to take that and then I want you to apply it to, now I'm going to go left here.
Okay.
I want you to apply it to how not just men, but it's majority of men, not all men. Let me put that out there. It's not all men. I need more sex because you can put your hand on anything now and it doesn't excite you. I got to do something else. I got to get
Mm.
something else. I got to feed this monster. It's all a monster. No,
Mm.
no matter what head is on the monster, it is a monster, no matter how you look at it. Oh, I
Mm.
can pay my bills and I can go blow $200. Guess what? Now your car has something wrong with it, but that $200 would have fixed it,
Mm.
right?
Yes, it would
Had
have
had you
been
saved,
there. Yeah, I've been there.
right? But you got to pay a $225 Jordans in your closet that's sitting there collecting dust because now you have to get an outfit for those Jordans. That's another
Mm.
$200.
Mm.
But your car's gonna wait because you need that outfit for the Jordans. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
So the sneakers is, and don't get me wrong, because I still collect sneakers. I still love sneakers, and a lot of
yeah.
my
Of
friends
course. Of
love
course.
sneakers.
It's the whole point of the
It's a hobby.
conversation. Yeah.
It's a hobby for me. But I have slowed down. I haven't really bought too much because it doesn't excite me anymore. So it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, they're
Yeah.
out. Great. Okay, now what? I've had them already. Okay.
I'm gonna jump in right here, and I'm going to. Obviously, you already know I agree. It's like once again you said so much. Uh, I I want to touch on like I really do feel like that goes on a lot with the social media.
Mhm.
A lot of, and I don't want to just say when I say guys, I don't want it to just I
It's
generalize
women too.
everybody,
It's
but
women too. Yeah.
people, yeah, people on social media, especially in the community we're in, I do feel like they tend to get a little carried away with the instant gratification.
Hmm.
Um, that like like you said, the thumbs up and all that. And this once again, I'll throw myself on the fire. I'm not one to pick at anybody. I'm creating this content right now in hopes of people like it and people, you know what I'm saying? Now I feel like the distinction is what is it for?
Hmm.
Um I don't feel like I'm driven by those likes or anything like that. I'm a married man with children. I'm beyond love. I'm
Hmm.
blessed, extremely blessed.
Hmm.
Um, I do this social media thing because it's one of my hobbies, like I said, and to jump off of what about over hyperly sexual hyperly sexual men.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not knocking anybody of nothing like that, but this is my out. Social media doing the pictures and stuff. This is my out. I guess some guys like to fool around and drugs, whatever the case may be. This is my out. You know what I'm saying? I had like I said, normally if I'm not with my family, I'm at work.
Hmm.
So I do like to have something. And once I started to do this social media thing, I did feel like I resonated with people. But I will say that the system of the likes and the views and all that, it is built to consume you,
Yeah.
to always feel like, oh, I'm not getting this many likes or that many likes. You know, um, I I've seen my likes grow, but I've also noticed, I know people who get thousands and thousands of likes. Does that change my day in any way? No, because I actually feel like when I post, people will normally people I know or whatever, those are the first people that are going to like my stuff. And then you have the audience that's going
Hmm.
to like it. And who, but I know people who will make a post after a post about not getting likes on the previous post.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like, it meant
Yeah.
that much to you?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, because once again, I'm not going to knock anybody, but I do. Once again, we're talking about the addiction of it. Whether you're getting paid for it or not, you have to understand you're literally refreshing. Keep looking at your page, trying to see who liked you, who commented, and all that. Like normally, if I can, I'll go do something at work or something, and I'll come back to it, and I'll try to respond to people as I
Hmm.
can. And because I don't like to not respond to people, because then they feel like you left them hanging and stuff, I guess.
Hmm.
But once again, I do feel like that ties into it. Dudes will go out here and try to keep up with the Joneses, buying the latest drops, the latest sneakers, the latest coats, whatever, and not and to do it for a like, or what I'm saying, a congratulations, and they don't even have the passion for it anymore. That's
No.
that's the worst if you ask me. And I'm gonna land my plane right here. Because I know this is, because it's like I feel like what I'm saying is like that's the pot calling the kettle, I guess. But anyone who follows me knows, I'm not really big on the latest. I'm big on vintage, and
Yeah.
I'm a heavy thrift shopper.
Hmm.
Um, so if you really, it's rare you're going to see me in something that just dropped. It's very, very rare you'll see me something that just dropped. So, um, I do, like I said, I'm landing my plane. So you said something about, you don't even know, pretty much you're losing the passion for it. It's not even, you're not feeling it how you used to. And it's like, I can definitely agree with that. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I got so many like sweaters and shirts and all this stuff. My addiction started to switch me to home items.
Hmm.
So now I'm looking for like tablecloths and
Oh,
scarves and things
okay.
like that. You
Okay.
know, yeah, because but once again, it's an addiction. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to really keep buying the clothes because I'm like, I'm not feeling that feeling I'm getting from a new sweater, a
Mhm.
new coat or anything, a Leatherman or something. So if I see a nice umbrella or like I said, unfortunately, a teapot set. I just recently got a teapot set. Not proud of that purchase, but see, it is like, do I really, do you really need it?
It
But at the
changes
time in my
gears.
head, I need
Yeah, it
it.
changes gears. It will shift and you won't even see it coming. It can go from clothes to home goods to for me, it went to pocketbooks. It went to Coach bags. You
Oh,
know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh man.
I don't even really look at sneakers like that anymore, but I will pick up a Coach bag. Matter of fact, hold on.
Thank you. I was gonna ask, can we start seeing some merchandise, please? Let's see some merchandise. Is that
This,
leather? Oh wow.
yeah, this is a vintage Coach bag. This bag retailed, I think, anywhere between 5 and 700. I found it for $75. These are my new high now. Stuff like this is my new high. It's something about getting something that costs an astronomical amount of money that I can get it for a fraction
Look,
of the cost. It's just something about it. Like some sucker just spent eight
yeah,
hundred dollars for something.
yeah,
I got it in pristine condition for 75. You
yeah.
know, got 'em. I don't know. It's something but it's another
No,
monster.
yeah, yeah, yeah.